My name is Tria Belinda Angela Caroline. In this part, I will explain about the definition of compound sentence. Okay, today we are going to learn about the compound sentence. The definition of compound sentence is a sentence that has at least two independent clauses, and independent clause means a clause that can stand alone as a complete sentence. These independent clauses have related ideas and are joined together using coordination conjunctions such as for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or the call is FANBOYS, or by a semicolon. Okay, now let's look at the example. In the first example, cats are good pets for they are clean and are not noisy. Both parts are complete sentence and they are connected by for. Okay, next, second example. I am counting my calories, yet I really want dessert. Her, yet, so contrast between the two ideas. And the third example, they arrive early and they had good seat. The word and connects to equal ideas. Next example, everyone was busy, so I went to the movie alone. So result or conscious. And the last example, the sky is clear, the stars are twinkly. This sentence uses a semicolon to join two independent clauses without a conjunction. So remember, a compound sentence has two independent clauses joined by FANBOYS and semicolon.
My name is Prima, and in this section, I will explain about the important terms of compound sentence. So, as we can see, a compound sentence is a sentence that has two independent clauses. An independent clause is a clause that has a subject and a verb, and they can stand alone as a complete sentence. The two independent clauses are joined by FANBOYS or for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, or a semicolon. Let us look at the example of a compound sentence with two verb phrases. The example is, the children often sweep the floor and they never clean the wall. Now I will explain this step by step. The subject in this example is the children and they. This tells us who is doing the action. And the first verb phrase is often sweep the floor. This purpose to show the first action. And the second verb phrase in this example is never clean the wall. This purpose to show the second action. And the words and is a coordinating conjunction. It purpose to connect the two action. And the next is the important terms in compound sentence. Now I will explain some important terms that help us understand compound sentence more clearly. The first is clause. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. For example, the children sweep the floor. This is a clause because it has subject, and the subject in this example is the children, and it has verb. The verb in the example is sweep. And the next is the main clause or independent clause. A main clause or independent clause is a clause that can stand alone as a complete sentence. For example, the children sweep the floor. The sentence has a complete meaning, so it is an independent clause. And the next is subclause or dependent clause. A subclause or dependent clause cannot stand alone, so it needs a main clause to make sense. In our compound sentence example, there is no subclause. And the next is coordination. Coordination happens when two equal parts are joined together. The conjunction used in coordination are semicolon and FANBOYS. For example, the children sweep the floor and they never clean the wall. Here, two actions are joined together using conjunction and. And the next is coordination test. The coordination test will help us check if two parts have the same grammatical level. If two words group can be joined using for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, and semicolon. For example, the first sentence is sweep the floor and the second sentence is clean the wall. We can join them. Sweep the floor and clean the wall. We use conjunction and.
My name is Wilhelmina Rahayu. In my session, I will explain the characteristic of compound sentence. Before we dive into the characteristic, let me briefly explain what a compound sentence is. A compound sentence is a sentence that contains two or more independent clauses that are connected together. An independent clause is a group of words that has both a subject and a verb. It can stand alone as a complete sentence because it expresses a complete thought. For example, I like coffee is an independent clause, and Mary likes tea is also an independent clause. When we combine them together, we create a compound sentence like I like coffee and Mary likes tea. Now, let's move to the first and most important characteristic of compound sentence. A compound sentence must contain at least two independent clauses. This means each part of the sentence should be able to stand alone as a complete sentence. Let me give you an example. In the sentence, I study hard, but I failed the exam. We have two clauses. The first clause is I study hard, which can stand alone as a complete sentence. The second clause is I failed the exam, which can also stand alone as a complete sentence. But clauses are independent, and that's why this is a compound sentence. Another example is the sun is shining and the birds are singing. Here the sun is shining is one independent clause, and the birds are singing is another independent clause. Both can function as separate sentences, which make this a compound sentence. Next, the second characteristic is that compound sentence use coordinating conjunction to connect the independent clauses. We use a helpful acronym called FANBOYS to remember these 7 coordinating conjunctions. FANBOYS stand for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Each of these conjunctions has a specific purpose. For shows reason, and show addition, nor show negative addition but show contrast, or show choice yet show contrast, and so shows results or consequence. Let me give you some examples. I was tired, so I went to bed early. Uses so to show the result. She loved singing, but she hates dancing. Uses but to show contrast between two different preferences. You can have tea or you can have coffee. Use or to show a choice between two options. And he studied medicine, for he wanted to help people. Use for to show the reason. One important thing to remember is that when we use FANBOYS to connect to independent clauses, we must put a comma before the coordinating conjunction. Next, the third characteristic of compound sentences is that they can also be format using a semicolon instead of a coordinating conjunction. A semicolon is a punctuation mark that looks like this, a dot on top of a comma. When we use a semicolon to connect to independent clauses, we don't need a coordinating conjunction and we don't need a comma. For example, I have pet iguana. His name is Fluffy. In this sentence, the semicolon connects two closely related ideas without using any conjunction. Another example is the traffic was terrible, we arrived late. Here, the semicolon shows the strong connection between the bad traffic and arriving late. We typically use semicolons when the two independent clauses are closely related in meaning and we want to show a strong connection between the ideas. Remember, when you use a semicolon in a compound sentence, you don't put a comma anywhere. Next, the fourth characteristic is that compound sentences do not contain dependent clauses. This makes compound sentences different from complex sentences. A dependent clause is a group of words that cannot stand alone as a sentence because it doesn't express a complete thought. Dependent clauses usually start with subordinating conjunction like because, although, when, if, or since. Let me show you the difference. I went to the store and I bought milk. Is a compound sentence because both I went to the store and I bought milk are independent clauses. However, because I was hungry, I ate lunch. It's not a compound sentence. It's a complex sentence. Because I was hungry is a dependent clause that cannot stand alone. If a sentence has both independent clauses and dependent clauses connected together, it becomes a compound complex sentence, not just a compound sentence.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Safinka Sarajani. After my friends explain the definition, the term, and the characteristic of the compound sentence, now we move the example of the compound sentence. The first we have they arrive early and they have good seats. From this, we can start from the first words or from the last words. But today I want to explain for the very last words, which seats. So we can start from the seats. So seats is noun. So we can menarik dia ke atas as the NP. And we have good as the adjective. The adjective must be the first project into an AP, adjective phrase, before it can be modified as noun. And then we have the AP, good, and the noun as the seeds, and we can merge from NP to noun phrase. These serve as the direct object of the sentence of the second clause. So this is the second clause. And then we have VP here. We had is the V, is the verb. And then for the VP, we can merge the V had with the NP. Good seeds. This creates the VP verb phrase that represents at the action of having good seeds. And then we still on the second clause, we have plus PST. Since had is in the past tense, will require a T had with the feature plus PST. And we have here the T bar. We merge the T had with the VP. This results the T bar, which represents and the activity that has been assigned and the time frame but lacks a subject. We're still completing the second TP. So this is they. We have they here. So they is pronoun. We can write here pronoun, which projects into NP to function as the subject. And the TP on the right, by merging the NP, they with the T bar, we form a complete the TP, 10 phrase, then we have they had good seeds. And the conjunction, we have and. This is the conjunction, and it plays in the center action as the functional bridge to the link the two independent clauses. And then we move in the first VP. Early is an adverb which projects into adverb phrase. And then we have arrived here. This is the V. And then we have adverb phrase from the arrive and the early from the first VP. So this is the first clause. We add the plus PST. Similarly, as the arrive is a past tense verb, so we provide a T had with the PST feature. T bar merging T with the VP creates the intermediate T bar level of the first clause. So we can completing the first TP here. They, the pronoun projects into an NP. We merge the NP with T bar. This give us the first complete sentence. They arrive early. And then the final structure, the compound sentence. Now that we have the TP, the conjunction, and the right TP, we connect all three to a single root TP at the top. So this is how we do this compound sentence into the tree diagram.
Hi everyone, my name is Melva Olivia Melani and I'm here to give you an exercise to do. So my friends already gave you the definition, the example of compound sentence, right? So as we know, compound sentence has a two head linked by a conjunction, and now we will identify together using tree form, and I already prepared my tree form here. I hope that you already prepared your tree forms too, so we can understand together and learn together. So the sentences that I will give you is: I am counting my calories, yet I really want dessert. That is the first one, okay? And the second is, the sky is clear, semicolon, the stars are twinkling. Okay? So let's start. We will start from Oh, you know that compound sentence has two heads, right? We will start from head 2. I really want dessert. Okay, we start from dessert. Dessert is a noun. Dessert. We will write it as a noun, and then of course it would be a noun phrase. And then next we have a want. Want is a verb, so it must be verb phrase, but we still have another word, so it is not a perfect verb phrase, so it is a fever. We have really. Really is an adverbial phrase because its function is to explain, and after we identify the verb, we need to know the tense. Is it past tense or present tense? We still don't have a complete tense, so we will use T-bar. We use bar again, and then T, so it is a present, so it would be minus EST. This is the head tense phrase. We have a I. I is a noun phrase. It is a pronoun. Where should we put the conjunction? So the conjunction is put on the middle of the first head and the second head. And then we go to the first head. I am counting my calories. So we start from the front. Okay, so I is noun phrase and it is a pronoun. This tense, we know that the T-bar or the tense is written in here. So am, as you know, is a to be. To be is used in present tense, so it must be a present. So besides using minus and plus BST, we also use the to be for knowing the type of sentence. Oh, what is wrong with my second form? Wait, we go next into counting. Counting is a verb phrase. We don't have any adverb in here. My calories. What is my calories? It is a noun phrase, right? Yeah. My calories. Mine is determiner. Calories is the noun. This is how to identify three forms from compound sentence using conjunction yet. So for your information, we also use a semicolon for conjunction. We don't need to put the conjunction in the middle of the sentence of the two heads. You can just put the semicolon on your last first sentence. So if we use a semicolon, you don't need to put your conjunction here, but you can just put them in here like this. Okay, like this. If you use semicolon, you just identify it like this. Okay, so that's all from me. I hope you understand, and I hope my explanation will be useful in future for you or for anyone. Bye bye.